It's time for NFL 32 Overtime.
Adam Schefter, Wendy next here with you on NFL 32 Overtime. A number of questions coming via Twitter, Adam, and one from a Browns fan. What would the Browns have to give up in the draft in order to get to RG3 Robert Griffin III?
Well, they'd have to get up to the number 2 spot in all probability. That's the St. Louis Rams spot. So you're going from 4 to 2, which shouldn't be all that hard to do, especially considering the fact that the Cleveland Browns went out last year and got those extra draft picks from the Atlanta Falcons. My guess, off the top of my head today, a lot would depend on whether the Redskins or Dolphins would want to come up to get a player like RG3, but to go from 4 to 2, it might cost them both their first-round picks this year, which really, they have those picks anyway. If they believe that Robert Griffin III is the guy, then go get him for 2 first-round picks. It still is a bargain.
Still a bargain. That came via Twitter. Speaking of tweets, Mark Sanchez had a special tweet for Santonio Holmes. Here's AP with the latest.
Thanks, Wendy. This is the beginning to the relationship between Santonio Holmes and Mark Sanchez. Someone has to reach out first. Mark Sanchez did just that. Now it's time for the receiver to reach back to his quarterback and reward him with kind words and hard work. These two need to have a great offseason for the Jets to continue. If the Jets want to go anywhere, it's going to be with Mark Sanchez and Santonio Holmes getting along just great like they did in years past.
Did you hear that?
The Buccaneers have released Albert Haynesworth. What is the likelihood he finds another team during the offseason?
Here's what teams are going to wrestle with Albert Haynesworth when they decide whether or not to sign him. Once New England cut him free in October, it didn't lose again until the Super Bowl. Once Tampa Bay claimed him on waivers, it didn't win again. Those are 2 trends that you do not want to have happen. Of course, he struggled in Washington, he struggled in New England, he struggled in Tampa, and he is immensely talented. In all probability, it will take somebody that knows Albert Haynesworth, that has a history with Albert Haynesworth, somebody like Jim Schwartz in Detroit or Jim Washburn, the defensive line coach in Philadelphia, that could bring it out of Albert Haynesworth.
That wraps up NFL 32 Overtime.